Hopefully it will.
I have no idea if any of this is working. This has been all screwy. I just had to delete one and start another.
Have all kinds of fun. It's not bringing it up online yet. So.
Yeah, it is online.
There we are. Okay, now we got volume.
All right.
All right. Well, now that we got all the technical out of the way, it's pretty good. Everything stays that way, and not a whole lot. It's been chaotic. It's been a busy few days with draft and everything. Now that that's
Hey,
over.
Ollie.
Hey, Ollie.
Yeah. Well, we tried to do a stream a minute ago, and we couldn't get our microphone to come up, so we had to delete that and start a new one.
Typical, all the fun.
If you don't have your microphone all turned on before you start create a live stream, you can't bring it up afterwards.
I know, which I think is
I don't know why it won't let me pick what source I want, but
I don't know either.
Yay, YouTube. All right, you go ahead. I'll get this set up.
Okay, you get that. Hey, tech support, get that set up.
Yep.
No, we figured it would pop on. Obviously, like we said, we were gonna do our thoughts and opinions on how we think everybody did. Draft wise, obviously might do a little bit better in the little bit more on certain teams.
Yeah, we're not going to look at every single
team in depth.
I mean, we'll go through quickly on first round of what we think, but after that, I think specifically,
yeah, I think
teams that people ask about. How do you think the Dolphins pick? We will get to them.
Yes,
we will get to them, Ollie. I'm spilling stuff. Oh, it's been a great day.
It's because it's been a hectic day.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Look at that. All over the front of me. Awesome. It'll dry.
It's fine. Whatever.
All right. So.
But, yeah. So we figured go do a quick rundown.
Yeah, let's see how everyone's team really did, or what we all think they really did.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean.
I got my first ever Soccer USA jersey today. Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
I would love to go to a World Cup game, but I don't think that's going to happen. So.
Prices. I mean, the prices really weren't too terrible, but they were up there.
Overall, I think the Bengals picked excellent stranger. I think they did too. Well, let's just run down real quick refresher here on round one. We're not going to go into every one of them. I'm a soccer fan, but really it's like World Cup. I watch it some like English Premier League and stuff like that other times, and I played in high school. So
yeah.
All right, we all know Raiders went Mendoza.
Shocker there.
Great pick.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else to say about that.
Right, exactly.
Jets going David Bailey, linebacker. Edge. They've got him listed here as a linebacker, but
I kind of expected that.
I expected Avril Reese.
Reese or Bailey yes.
I actually was Reese or Downs. If they didn't go quarterback, I was expecting Reese or maybe Downs.
No, I was more leaning towards one of the two there. And I was right. They went Bailey.
Cardinals going Love was really
that kind of baffled me a little bit.
They had like 4 running backs already. They needed so many other things. I don't think running back was the position that was going to fix their problems the most.
Right.
But that was theirs. Titans going Carnell Tate, I think was great. Wide receiver.
Oh, God, yes.
For Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Good wide receiver.
Give him another target. Yep. Definitely. Yes.
Giants taking Reese was good. He was there. I don't think they were expecting him to be there. So they hey, let's take him.
I know my brother was happy about that.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah, I see that Chiefs drafted Garrett Nussmeier late.
Yeah, I think it was
5th or 6th round. But hey, that's a smart pickup for them, I think.
Right.
The Chiefs, speaking of the Chiefs, when they traded up for Mansour Delane. I was a little
Mhm.
surprised that they traded up to get him. They must have figured that somebody else was going to take him, and
Right.
you know, the Giants may have taken him at 10 if the Chiefs hadn't.
Maybe.
Commanders taking Sonny Styles. That's a good pickup for them. Man,
Yeah.
that's going to work well.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing the highlights on him and things like that
Yeah.
pre-draft that we
Yeah.
were doing. Yeah.
Saints going wide receiver, I think, was good. Traded up to reach, in my opinion. I think Mansour Delane is going to be really good for them. I don't know if he was the best cornerback sitting up in this draft, but he was one of them.
Yeah.
I think they could have waited and not traded up and either got him. Sorry, notifications. Either got him or I don't know. If I was going to trade up to 6 like they did, I almost think, and Sonny Styles was sitting there, I think I would have taken Styles.
Right.
Or Downs.
Or Downs.
Over Mansour Delane.
Right.
So maybe Stranger's right on that. They should have probably, if you're going to trade up to 6, and Styles and Downs are both sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny Styles' brother Lorenzo Styles got drafted to the Saints.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that.
Saints taking a wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. Not the wide receiver expected, to go next, but good one nonetheless.
Right.
Browns taking offensive tackle makes some sense because
they've got a defense.
They've got a good defense. Their O-line was not the greatest. They want to try to protect one of the now 4 quarterbacks.
I know. It's like
at least 4 that they have.
Are you kidding me? But yeah.
Giants at 10 was
an
odd pick. Maligoa is good. An offensive tackle was needed.
Yes.
But Downs was sitting right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the pick that my brother was irked about with the Giants going.
Yeah. He's like, because her brother's a big Giants fan. He's like, Caleb Downs was sitting right there. So we can get other offensive tackles. We can find some. We can work with the guys we've got some. To have Avril Reese and Caleb Downs, that would have been scary. The only better options might have been Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. Probably would have been the scarier options.
Right.
And they technically could have had both.
Yeah.
They could have taken Styles. Now, nothing saying that if they took Styles, Commanders wouldn't have taken Downs at their number 7 pick.
Right.
Dolphins right here, offensive tackle Caden Proctor. Again, you got to protect your quarterbacks. There's one reason that Tua has so many concussions. He got sacked so damn many times.
Yeah, hit so many
times. I think Proctor is a really good offensive tackle.
Yeah, there was a lot of talks about him going around.
He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a big benefit for the Dolphins. Dolphins have got a lot to improve on. Nothing saying they can't, but we'll have to see when the season starts.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens when push comes to shove.
Now, pick 13. I'm not surprised the Rams took a quarterback. I'm surprised they took a quarterback at 13.
Yeah, I would have waited. I think
you could have traded back to where did the so the Steelers pick was 21. They're the only other team other than maybe the Browns, but the Browns had already picked. I'm looking Rams, then went Ravens, Bucks, Jets, Lions, Vikings, Panthers. There's no other team on here that needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
You could have traded from the 13 back to 20 with the Eagles or 19 with the Panthers and got a couple extra picks and still taken Ty Simpson there.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't.
I don't know either.
Ravens take an offensive guard. They need help with their run game, opening holes. Now, Bain goes to the Bucks. they needed a defensive end. They needed
Yeah.
more pass rushers.
Yeah,
they got
they
a good
did.
pass rusher. We're going to talk about Bailey Bain and your pass rusher here in a minute.
Okay.
Because I saw something rather interesting when you start looking at the three of them.
Okay.
Well, Jets, they could have taken a quarterback, but I didn't expect them to in the first round.
No.
Because I think they want to wait till next year to go hard.
Yeah.
You know, a first round QB for them will be next year. They took somebody, but taking Kenyon Sadiq, he's a hell of a tight end.
Yeah.
And he can block for him.
Excuse me. Yeah, the highlights that I saw once they called his name during the draft and stuff, then yeah.
Lions taking Blake Miller for an offensive tackle. Yep, they needed some help there.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, going to Vikings. He is another really, really good edge or defensive tackle. He'll get to the passer and he'll mess things up in the backfield.
Yeah.
Panthers took Monroe Freeling. They needed O-line help. They got to give Bryce Young some time.
Yeah, they do.
He's another really good one. I mean, Maligo, I think, is better. Caden Proctor, I think, might be a little better. But Freeling is great. Eagles take a wide receiver. I think that, and Mekhi Lemon, probably the second best wide receiver off the board. He's right behind Tate, I think. Mm-hmm. Tells me that A.J. Brown is going to be gone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people pointing towards him going to New England.
Right.
They really need one. They did not draft one high. Mm-hmm. Although people had said they wanted Concepcion, but he went before their pick in the first.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I think he'd do pretty well there. Chargers defensive end. They needed pass rush. Akeem Messidor is another great one. Cowboys taking Malachi Lawrence. They needed their defense was like yours. You two were neck and neck for who was worse most of the season.
Right.
Yeah. Browns took Concepcion. Their offense needed a wide receiver. I think Concepcion will do well there. Between him and Judy, they both have problems with drops. But I think Concepcion can figure that out. Bears took a safety, Cinnamon. How do you pronounce that?
I know. Yeah, and he was the one that I was saying earlier that he didn't even know his phone was ringing.
Yeah.
His brothers, his other family members, like, dude, phone.
Texans taking Rutledge at guard. Their O-line was their number one problem.
Yeah.
Their offense needed a little help, and they lost some defensive players from last year, so they were going to need to replenish that. They did some during the rest of the draft, but they needed to build up that O-line. Mm-hmm. CJ just, I mean, he every time he dropped back, he was getting hit or pressured. Dolphins cornerback, Chris Johnson. I don't know a lot about Chris, but he seems pretty good. Cornerback was definitely a position of need. So Patriots taking Lomu, I think, was smarter for them than taking a wide receiver here.
Yeah.
In some ways, because one of their biggest problems, and I think one of the reasons that they lost the Super Bowl, was people were just blowing through the O-line.
Right. There was no blocking.
Will Campbell.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid, you need to do better.
Yeah, exactly. You need to. I get you had injuries.
And he was a rookie, and that stuff. But
I get that, but you need to step up.
At 29, Chiefs took Peter Woods, which people had said you guys might be interested in. The defensive tackle.
You're right. I can't remember. There was something on him. I can't remember if it was like an injury or something or other, but
I don't know if it was on him. I don't remember.
It may not have been. There, like I said, with all these names being thrown around, it's like.
Yeah. So, I mean, they took a defensive tackle and a cornerback. So they're looking at their defense. They know that their defense had been what got them to the Super Bowl.
Right.
The 2 previous years.
Yeah. And now it's
let them down some.
Yeah.
And so is their offense some.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's kind of like on both sides of the ball, so you can't really blame.
Now, Jets took Omar Cooper. that's one that if the Patriots had really wanted a wide receiver, there was a guy right there that I think done well there.
Yeah.
Titans took fault for a defensive end, great defensive end, and Seahawks go running back to Jadarian Price. I know people have been like, why not? They just got rid of the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Walker. It was money.
Yeah.
He was worth. It was time for a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
He rightfully wanted more money. He deserved more money, and they couldn't afford it and do everything else they knew they wanted to do.
Especially with the other one there,
Chardonnay
being there too.
So for you guys, your first pick was
right there,
pick 41.
Yes,
Cassius Howell. This is where I wanted to. I don't know if it's going to bring it up. This way or not. Total, yeah, right here. 54 games he played in.
Okay.
68 tackles, 122 yards because of some of his. No, he had no interceptions. I don't know where they get the 100. Where they get that 122 yards, 28 sacks, and then another 196 yards. It says. I don't know.
I was looking for maybe like tackles for loss.
Yeah, that might be
122 yards of loss.
So 28 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
They were showing stats that his sack numbers were better than Bailey and Bain over the same time period. That he actually had more sacks than those two did.
Okay.
And, of course, he was Bowling Green for 21 through 23.
Right.
Not the, that's FBS or that's just a little bit lower level division.
Right.
But then he's Texas A&M. He's playing in the SEC. I don't believe Bowling Green is SEC. Correct me if I'm wrong. Motivation issues with Woods, a la Jackson Carmen. Okay, stranger. Motivation is a killer on the.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Diego Pavia slid so bad was attitude and motivation.
Could very well have been, yeah.
But how his numbers were incredible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that were wondering why he slipped out of the first round. And I think it was Bailey and Bain got the majority of the attention.
Yeah.
For edge rushers and a couple of others. And there were so many edge rushers in this draft. I think a lot of teams were like, well, we'll just pick one up in round 2. And we'll go for the ones that there's less supply of per position.
Right. And I will say, too, is with Howell, I noticed, now I don't know about Bailey and Bain and interviews and things like that, but when they were talking with Howell there, he was great guy. It's like you just sat down one-on-one and he was laughing and joking.
Yeah, really seemed like a really bright guy.
Yeah.
Well-spoken. Thought process seemed to be really good with answering questions well.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with every player.
And actually looking directly at whoever's asking the question.
The number of players.
And then shaking his head like he's following along with you.
The number of players that get up there and mumble and you can't understand them. It's like, man, you're on national TV.
Yeah, you start talking. It's like, oh, well, okay. Yeah, it was pretty, and then they start using these terms that it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he seems like a good kid. He seemed excited.
Oh, God, yeah.
So.
That's what I love to see is, and it's not just with the Bengals. Obviously,
but he's
I love seeing
2025 SEC Defensive Player of the Year and a one-time All-American. So I think Howell's going to do great for you guys. Another good pickup in the second round. Let me see. Where was it? Right there. Derek Moore for the Lions.
Okay.
Pick 12.
Yeah.
I think that was I think that's really going to be good. Him on one side, Hutch on the other side. They're both, you know, Michigan boys.
Oh yeah.
You know, both Wolverines, both motivated go-getters.
Yeah.
That's going to make their pass rush pretty nasty, which it needs to be. They lost a really good linebacker in Anzalone. I know some people weren't high on him, but I think he did very well. Oh, I feel bad for Diego. I know what you're saying, Ollie, but he brought it on himself with his he had some really bad press conferences where he just displayed some really bad attitude and almost like an I don't give an F if you draft me or not kind of thing. That's not the way to go about it.
Right.
You don't have to kiss their butt all the time.
No, but you also have to find that line.
Yeah.
And I don't think he found it.
And because I mean I like Diego. I enjoyed watching him.
Yeah.
I rooted for Vanderbilt a lot and wanted that kid to go out there and do well. But it was like he just didn't always know when to just let things go and go with the flow. I feel as though he will find his way onto a team. And if he just kind of chills out a little bit, I think the guy will do fine. And he'll probably end up working his way up onto a roster somewhere.
Right.
But if he doesn't do that, then he won't make it in. But yeah, so Lions, I think that's going to be a tough one. Now, Ravens went defensive end in round 2. And that means they're gonna have Zion Young, who's good.
And
Hendrickson. It's gonna make things tough in your division. Now you're gonna have Cassius Howell and Boye Mafa, which I think is gonna make things tough in that division.
Yeah.
So I think you guys got quite a bit better. I was thinking there was not that one. Oh, Pond's going
to the
Jets. Now the problem with Pons really was his is his size.
Right.
I don't want to show.
Of course not. Why would they want
They're going to bring it up the way they did the others, I guess.
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What's down? Yeah.
Let's see. Show it here. Nope. Doesn't really want to give me anything on Pons. But he's only like 5'8".
Yeah.
Pretty short. For a cornerback, that's 5'8", 5'9", something like that. He's not a very tall guy.
Right.
I think that's why a lot of teams overlooked him. But I think the Jets got a really good play. You guys wanted Pons. We were hoping you guys could pick him up somewhere.
Yeah. James, our son, wanted Pons for the Lions.
I think they looked and saw the kid's short. Let's.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go with somebody else. But I think they passed up what he was capable of doing.
Exactly.
Very disruptive.
Yeah, he was
out there.
We watched the highlights on him, and he was. That's why I kept saying yesterday. I'm like, God, Pons is still there. We need to get him.
Packers getting CC, the cornerback out of the Gamecocks. That was a good pickup for them. They needed that. Where was? Oh, right there, Browns. Emmanuel McNeil, the safety.
He was the other one that I was
kind of hoping when you guys picked in round 2, that's who you were going to take. Yeah. I'm glad that you went with Howell.
Yeah.
And that's just because I wasn't thinking him until you picked him. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to remember who he was, but.
Right.
He's another really good safety. Right there, Emmanuel McNeil. Your division, let's see. How did your division do in round 2? Who else is in here? So the Browns took Denzel Boston, wide receiver. He's good. He's not the greatest, but he's definitely good. He's definitely solid.
Right.
Was in college anyways. anyways, they could use that. We don't know who's throwing the ball to them, but they could use that.
Could be a number.
Obviously, you guys with Howell.
Yes.
Ravens took Zion Young.
Uh-huh.
Again, like I said, that's going to make things
a little tough.
Jermaine Bernard, a wide receiver for the Steelers. I don't know if that was. I believe in the kid too, Ollie. He really turned a lot of teams off.
Yeah.
He's got talent. He definitely has the talent. But teams sometimes are just when players start with some of the drama and stuff, they're like, man, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he will find his way onto a team somewhere. I really do. It's early days.
Oh yeah.
Somebody will need a backup.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be sitting out there. They'll bring him in. And if he plays like I think he can, he may end up as more than a backup.
Yeah.
It may take a year or two, but I think he will. So, but the wide receiver for the Steelers, I don't know if that was the smartest thing for them.
I would have thought defense.
Their defense is getting old.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Get some more younger players in there. Let them sit behind these ones that are veterans now. I mean, might as well say it.
Well, yeah, they are.
In more ways than one if their D-line's that old.
Yeah. What did you guys do in round 3? Zachario Davis, cornerback from the Huskies. He's good.
He's quick.
He's quick.
He's
got some good speed on him. He's got some things to work on.
He does. He's fucking tall too. I think he's like,
yeah.
Can't remember if he's over 6 feet. That I know.
If I can bring it up here. No, I don't have any data on him. Let's see. Career. Oh, he's 6'4", 194 pounds. Little on the light side, in my opinion. I'd like to see him like maybe another 10 or 15 pounds heavier.
Right.
But that he can work on. Yeah, I mean, the kid is pretty good. I'm trying to see 2024 second team All Big 12. Limited to 7 games due to a rib and hamstring injury for 2025. But in 7 games, 19 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, held QBs to a 50.6 passer rating.
Okay.
Not bad in 7 games.
Yeah.
All the Dolphins drafted 2 wide receivers. You guys needed wide receivers.
Yes.
Having lost Waddle and Hill and those guys.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to them too. We will. I think you guys got some decent guys. Mean Gene, Christian Jones, offensive tackle, San Diego State. Eric Gentry, linebacker, USC. Jack Dingle, linebacker, Cincinnati. Noah Thomas, wide receiver, Georgia. Was that the Falcons? I don't know. All right, but real quick here on Davis for the Bengals. Yeah, I don't think he was a bad pickup. Cornerback, Nebraska. Josh Cadis, tight end, Kentucky. These are your undrafted free agent signings. Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, actually, I was.
So an offensive tackle, linebacker, which everyone kept saying you guys needed more linebackers. Another linebacker, another wide receiver,
but
another cornerback, tight end, another offensive tackle, another safety, running back, and another running back.
Yeah.
The offensive guys and cornerbacks, definitely. And another safety doesn't hurt if this guy works out. They're undrafted. They may, not all of those will be on the team come the end of the season.
Right.
It's a great chance to give them a try. Maybe you're like, hey, I like him better than the guy we've already got. Well, let's cut this guy and keep this new one.
Right.
It happens.
I mean, some of these may end up on the practice squad.
Well, yeah.
And then get elevated because if due to injuries, and the backup has to play for the rest of the season.
So I mean, a lot of these guys that do come onto your team will be practice squad.
Yeah,
because you're only allowed just so many practice squad. So, okay. So, Dario Davis was, I think, a pretty good pickup for you guys. Where are the Dolphins? Right there. Caleb Douglas, wide receiver for you guys, Ollie. He was a good pickup. Who'd you guys take in? There's a linebacker there.
And they took
offensive tackle there. Okay, so 3 Dolphins. Caleb Douglas. Right there. Houston Tech was born in Houston, Texas. He played Florida and then Texas Tech. 13 games, 54 receptions, 846 yards, and 7 TDs. That's respectable.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd like to see the yards up more, but it depends on how they played them.
Exactly.
I'd have to watch a bunch of their games and see how they run their offense.
Yeah.
Do they do more running to get the ball down there, and then it's passing at shorter yards? He has 7 TDs. So 40 games, 135 receptions, 2,031 yards, 16 TDs. You're in second team All Big 12 honors in 2025.
Nice.
He's 6'3", 206. Ran a 4.39 40. That's not bad. 31-inch vertical is better than I can do. And 126-inch broad jump. Known for his height-speed combination, deep threat ability, and versatility in the route tree. That's exactly what the Dolphins needed.
Right.
But somebody, you lost Hill, so you lost a lot of speed.
Yes, you did.
You need that guy out there. I don't think Bengals would take Diego.
No.
And Cowboys, I think they're all set. I think if somebody needs to pick him up for Diego Pavia, it's going to be like a Dolphins team where they've got to have another guy because either Malik or Quinn Ewers goes down for the season. Cardinals, somebody like that. Jets, if they lose out on a guy, they get if Geno goes down hard.
Yeah.
Steelers, because they ain't got if Rodgers doesn't come back and they lose some guys to injury.
Right. Yeah. They're gonna need something.
That's the kind of time I see him getting picked up somewhere. In round 3 in your division, Steelers got Drew Aller, the quarterback out of Penn State. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know.
Drew Aller's got. Go ahead.
No, I seriously figured Nussmeier would. You know what I mean? You got, but then Mendoza. The way that they were all talking was Mendoza, Nussmeier, and Ty Simpson were the top 3.
Yeah.
And going by what everybody was talking about, I totally forgot about Drew Aller.
So this is high school, college. Played in 46 games, passing for a total of 7,539 yards and 61 touchdowns.
Okay.
While rushing 757 and 13 touchdowns.
Okay.
So he is a bit of a dual threat. But he was sustained a ankle injury October 7th of 2025. Ruled him out the remainder of the season. I mean,
yeah.
Pittsburgh picking as a regional pick and a comfort pick. They've seen him for a long time. He's from Penn State. Right. I think he'll do okay, but I don't know.
It's just one of those things that, you don't hear about this kind of a QB.
Was he the next best QB sitting there? Is the question.
Right.
Maybe he was.
Could very well have been. Don't know.
I'm just thinking they had the chance to take others and didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't want to take a QB that high. Maybe their game plan is Rodgers comes back this year. Next year they draft high for QB.
Yeah.
If they can.
Yeah.
I think Carson Beck is going to be good for the Cardinals. I think Beck will do fine out there.
Yeah.
I forgot he went there until you just mentioned that again. So yeah, they probably wouldn't need Diego.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because now Cardinals have Dak,
Gardner Minshew, and Brissett.
Yeah.
Now that's if they keep all three.
Right.
They just traded for Minshew, or got him in free agency. I mean.
Right. Yeah, because wasn't Minshew on with the Chiefs?
Yeah, and Jacoby Brissett wants considerably more money, so they may, if he's a free agent or about to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what is. I'd have to look up his contract. I am not going to try to remember everyone's contract.
God, no. Too many numbers.
That might be one of those, hey, good luck.
Yeah.
Go out and see what you can do. He's got MHJ, Jeremiah Love, and Trey McBride. Yeah. Well, he's got, Trey and Love. Yeah, I'm not real impressed with Marvin Harrison Jr. so far. It was a rookie season, so I'll give the kid all the benefit. But
right. Yeah.
To work with. Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to step it up some, I think.
Yeah.
This year. Again, he was a rookie. I don't expect big things out of rookies. If you get big things, then great. Right. I don't go into the season expecting it.
Yeah, you're not going right day one, like, okay, they're gonna,
And I think a lot of people did with him because his dad.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to him.
No, it's not.
He's him, he's not his dad.
Exactly.
Maybe he becomes better than his dad. Who knows?
You don't know.
Give him time. But right now, his numbers were not good last year.
Right.
What else did your division do? So Falcons took Zachariah Branch, wide receiver, in the third. That didn't seem like too bad of a pick. Overview. There we go. They don't want to give me much, but receiving 2025, 81 receptions, 811 yards, 10-yard average, 6 touchdowns. Not, oh my God, greatest ever, but not bad.
Right.
A big jump up from what he had in 2024 with 1 touchdown, 503 yards on 47 receptions. Kick return, punt return. So we had 2 tackles with defense. Probably a pick 6 that he ended up tackling the guy on.
Right. Yeah.
You Ravens took a wide receiver again, Jacoby Lane. So, and Steelers took a cornerback out of Georgia, Everett. I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't think that was too terrible.
No. I'm liking you guys' draft better than I am Browns, Ravens, or Steelers so far. I mean, all right, round 1. Spencer Fano, he's going to help them.
Yeah.
Ravens, they took an offensive guard. That's going to help them, keep. All 3 of them took offense. Steelers, Max, Hanakor, or whatever it is, offensive tackle.
However you pronounce these names.
Ravens, Ione, offensive guard, and Browns, Fano, offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you guys ended up with. I mean, not you guys, but I mean, in your division,
right?
They all went offensive tackle.
We were more
or offensive tackles and guards.
Yeah, and we were more concentrating on our defense.
Yeah,
which I was very happy to see that they actually did that.
Yeah. Steelers down here took offensive tackle, Dunker.
Yeah, he's a beast. If he's the one I'm thinking of.
This is round 3. But you guys, Takario Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good pickup. It's cornerback. You needed that position.
Yeah,
that was something that I thought was good.
I saw a video. He's in Cincy now.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Romello Height, I thought wasn't a bad pickup for the Niners either.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing within your division. Dolphins, they picked up Caleb Douglas, a Texas Tech wide receiver. Steelers, Drew Aller, quarterback from Nittany Lions. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Ravens, right there, took a wide receiver, Jacoby Lane from USC.
And then Steelers, we started on down here, the Dalen.
All right, Everett, cornerback. And then Browns again went Austin Barber out of Florida Gators, offensive tackle again. Did any of them have Dolphins? Chris Bell, that other wide receiver. Steelers, Dunker, offensive tackle. Yeah. So the rest of your division through the first 3 rounds went heavy on offense.
Right.
And you guys went heavy on defense.
Yeah.
But your defense was junk.
Yeah, it was.
For the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them's defense, Browns have a good defense.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Steelers had a good one, but I said a lot of guys are getting older now.
Right.
Ravens, it's been hit or miss to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, they did get Hutch, and they did pick up, Hendrickson. They picked up a few other guys here and there. Free agency helped.
Yeah.
But you guys stacked up free agency.
Yeah.
Safety, corner, edge, defensive tackle.
Yep.
Big defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Sexy Dexy.
Yeah.
And
it only cost us our number 10 pick.
Which Downs would have been sitting there.
Downs would have been sitting there. I get that.
And Downs is a big piece of the puzzle, but you had no way of knowing.
Exactly.
Almost every mock draft of the major mock draft showed him gone.
Yeah.
Showed him, Bailey, Bain, Styles, and possibly Mansour Delane gone.
All of them. So for them to do that kind of a move in free agency before the draft.
This draft did not fall into line with a lot of the mock drafts that I saw.
No.
I don't put a lot of stock in the mock drafts because...
No, I do it just for fun.
But some of the really, like, PFF and some of them that do it, they get them pretty close some years.
Mm-hmm.
I was not seeing
a
lot of close... I mean, other than pick one.
Well, yeah.
My dead grandmother could have got that one right. I mean, we all knew what the Raiders were doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Cornerback Gerard McCoy, first one off the board in round 4.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought he was late round 1, early round 2, but it was that knee injury.
Yeah, that was the one concern for me was his knee injury,
and possibly needing more surgery on it
to clean up. It's a cleanup surgery, from what I've read.
Yeah,
but still. How many cleanup surgeries are you gonna need? And you do one, and then, oh no, we didn't get it all. But yeah, no, I
think it was shocking that he slid as far down as he did. But when you start looking at the injury, you're like, well,
exactly.
yeah, that makes
and in
that
his
makes
position,
sense.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, round 4, did you?
We traded with the Jets, so we ended up picking 128th.
Oh,
we got our
Connor Lou, center.
Yeah.
Just says Tigers, but Memphis. I said there's so many college football teams that are
Tiger. I have a tiger for.
Yeah.
But no, them picking up a center, I feel good about, because I don't know who our backup is for Kappa. So like if Kappa goes
how old
down,
is Kappa too?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to be
30.
That he's right there. 31. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm getting the names screwed up.
Because he's with the Raiders.
He's with the Raiders now. Who the hell is our?
You don't know, kid.
Good God.
You're the Bengals person, not me.
I know, and my mind's not. Holy crap! It's not
Center.
with it. Ted Karras.
Karras. All right. Well, how old is he? Right there.
He's 33.
He's 33, so he's even older.
So they're gonna need.
Yep, picking up Connor Lou was
to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Center, I think, is a tricky position.
It is.
That him and the QB really have to mesh well and be in sync.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of anchor the whole offensive line.
Yeah.
Kind of like, hey, they're looking down, everybody lined up right, where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Calling out, hey, watch, number whatever.
Yeah. No, I know.
They're the ones that set everything in motion.
So him going from one Tiger team to another Tiger team is pretty good.
Should be. Dolphins picked up Tyler Moore, that linebacker, too, out of Texas Longhorns. He's pretty darn good. But Ravens, they went tight end. Hibner. Steelers went wide receiver. I'm just looking. Ravens here went wide receiver at pick 115.
Mm-hmm. Not seeing the Browns.
I'm not seeing the Browns unless I'm just.
No. Unless I didn't pick
Ravens, yeah, there's Hibner, tight end.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We picked up
Colby Young, the wide receiver from the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
At pick 140. I don't like that pick at 140.
Right.
I think a linebacker would have been nice right there.
Mm-hmm.
You have two of the best wide receivers.
Yeah.
You got Yoshivas, and you've got others already in the building. I just think personally that wasn't the best pickup. Now, I wanted to look through. Browns got Justin Jefferson now. This time I thought he was playing for the Vikings, but
that's what I thought.
Apparently he's a linebacker now.
And my brother thought the same thing when we saw his name flash up on the TV. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, what?
Funny thing is,
isn't there another?
He's a Bama boy.
Isn't there another Jefferson? I think.
Well, you've got the wide receiver on Vikings.
I know that.
Okay, other than him. Oh, I'm sure there's somebody else with the last name of Jefferson in NFL.
I want to say that there's another.
I don't know if there's another Justin Jefferson or not, but
I can't remember. But anyway.
Problem is when you try to bring up Justin Jefferson, football to look, it brings up the Justin Jefferson
off the Vikings, not.
But that's okay. Yeah. So they did go linebacker there. They went defense.
I'm trying to look down too. Ravens.
Cornerback, Chandler Rivers. Oh, the Blue Devils. Yeah. Steelers went tight end. Riley Nowakowski, Indiana. Browns went tight end. So 169 and 170. Your division rivals went offense once again. Ravens went tight end at 173, and they went running back at 174. Your division bulked up hard on their
offense.
Wait, that was the one I think we just did.
Yeah. No, because
we were round 5, round 4.
Yeah, we were. So
this is round 5.
Round 5.
My thought process on a lot of this is it's a good thing you guys got your defense a lot better.
Yeah,
because the other 3 teams in your division just improved their offense on paper, anyways.
Right.
And you guys improved your defense on paper.
We'll have to see
how it goes.
They get on the field.
So if you can hold their offense even just a bit, their defenses are probably a little more deplenished than they were last year.
Right.
Your offense plays like we know it can. You should do very well in your division.
Yeah.
You should do very well. I still think Browns are last in your division.
Right.
Unless something drastically changes at quarterback and a few other offensive positions.
Okay.
The only way I could see them not being last in your division is if Rodgers doesn't come back to the Steelers. And one of their young guys and just doesn't have what it takes year 1 starting.
Yeah.
Then maybe because either Shador or
Gabriel?
No.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
On which team, honey?
Browns.
Okay, so you got Shador, you got Watson.
Watson, that's what I'm trying to say. It's
okay.
Watson.
All right.
Gabriel, I don't know if they're going to keep Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
I know they drafted him 3rd and they're going to owe him money, but maybe they can. I don't know what they're going to do because they don't seem happy with him, and I don't think it's all him.
No, I think if they get rid of him, they're going to owe him less money than what they owe Watson.
They can't get rid of Watson. They physically cannot just cut him.
No, they
can't. Because it's
a
100% guaranteed contract. If they cut him, it basically triggers everything at that point. I don't know if it's truly quite a trigger all at that point, but it screws them.
Yeah.
They are going to pay Deshaun Watson the remainder of his $230 million contract if he's sitting on their bench or sitting at his couch.
Yep.
Or playing for some of the team who's going to pay him the league minimum and make
the Browns
pay the rest of it.
Yeah.
You might as well have him sit there.
Yep.
You might as well have him sit there as your damn backup.
Exactly.
Your practice squad guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now, maybe he comes out and he balls out. There was a point in time when he was a hell of a quarterback.
Yes.
I just don't know about Dylan Gabriel.
I mean, he had some flashes, but not
what we were expecting. And
right.
I just think and feel like the Browns are done with him. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I think the Browns are done with him. But I don't know what they can do.
Right.
Can you trade him? Probably not going to get what he was only a 3rd rounder, so it's not like a high 1st rounder where it's big money.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they keep Shador
going into 5th round. We did not have a 5th round.
You guys did not have a 5th round pick.
We did not.
Well, Titans took a Fernando as well.
Oh, geez, girl.
A guard. So Browns took a center, Brailsford out of Crimson.
Bama.
Bama. I don't know why they have it set up this way.
I know they've
School,
got
they give the school nickname and not the school name.
They got their mascots.
Yeah. Browns went the Justin Jefferson linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see in your division. Ravens went cornerback Chandler Rivers. Steelers went, tight end.
Yeah, that okay.
Browns tight end. Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about them. Okay.
Chiefs took Cyrus Allen, wide receiver. Bearcats. I wonder if that's Cincinnati Bearcats.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins took a wide receiver there. That's right. They took him. Yeah. So that was 5 we had done. You get into round 6 for your division.
Yeah, that's when the Browns pick up a QB.
QB.
Yeah.
Of Arkansas Razorback, Tyler Green.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks do they need?
I don't know.
That tells me that they're getting rid of somebody.
Yeah, and it's got to be Dylan.
It's got to be.
It's got to be Dylan.
It's either going to be him or Shador because, like I said, financially, even going, well, we'll rip the Band-Aid off on Watson.
Yeah.
I don't think they could financially take that hit in 1 year. I don't know what he's got left on his contract.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson contract left. Still on the contract. Blah blah blah. So for the 2026 season, it's a $1.3 million base and $44.7 million restructure bonus.
Mm-hmm.
His cap hit reduced from 80 million down to 45 million, might as well call it. His dead cap value is 131 million in 2026 if released or traded before June 1st. 45 mil if designated post June 1st. Okay, so could they? They've restructured Watson's contract twice in 2026 to free up 36 mil in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, could they get rid of him after June 1st? Because I didn't realize it dropped down that much. I don't know. Either way,
it did something.
I mean, they took another quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them a minimum of 4 on their roster.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably one other sitting on the practice squad.
Oh God, yeah, most likely.
But so that's a pick right there that I don't think really helps them this year.
No.
Unless this Taylor Green kid turns out to be, all
of a sudden the starter,
the next Tom Brady,
right?
Round
exactly.
6,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, going down through.
Yeah.
We picked
right there. You got Brian Parker, the offensive tackle.
Yeah, and the highlights that we saw of him, he seemed to do all right.
I think he'll do.
I think he'll do pretty good.
I think he'll be. He'll be all right. I don't think he's the best offensive tackle, obviously, in this draft.
Right.
By any means. But you guys needed some help there. Uh-huh. I think he's a project. I think they can get him a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see the rest of your division. And anybody else. If anyone's got any suggestions on somebody they want to talk about. Wow. All right. Steelers went defensive lineman Gabriel Rubio out of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He's all right. Ravens took a punter. Eckley. I mean, that's really it for round 6.
Yeah.
Again,
No.
I don't think your guys in your division
Really.
drastically stepped up.
Yeah.
You guys at 221, the 5th pick in the round 7, went tight end. Jack Endries out of Texas.
Yep.
Steelers took a safety, but again, from Sooners, Robert Spears Jennings.
The only reason why I remember that is because it was constantly up on the screen yesterday.
Selected in the 7th. 47 games, 25 of them starts. 178 tackles, 102 solo. Lining up the free safety, box and slot, and was known for his speed and coverage ability. So we'll have to see. In 59 games, he had 1.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 2 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble in 59 games. 11 tackles versus Ole Miss, 8 tackles, interceptions, and returned 37 yards versus Tennessee are his 2 notable games.
There you go.
So, again, I don't think they like drastic food. Then you guys got Landon Robinson, the nose tackle, out of Navy. I mean, that's kind of what Dexter Lawrence is sometimes
known for,
listed as a nose tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know how much nose tackle he played, or did he play more defensive tackle, or
everything that I've seen, he was playing more defense.
Well,
more of a defensive tackle than anything else.
No, because obviously nose tackle lines up directly in front of the center, but on defense.
Right. Yeah. No. Every highlight or anything that I saw on
looked like he was more defensive tackle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I obviously have not seen every highlight reel of his.
Right.
But no, Landon is he's good. I'm not taking anything away from him just because he's Navy. I'm not gonna be that mean. I mean, yeah, but
yeah, you can be, but
38 games with Navy, 26 a starter, 153 tackles, 71 solo.
It was an early morning.
I was trying to get you to continue reading.
Sorry.
Assisted tackles, 82, 18 and a half tackles for loss, 14 and a half sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and no interceptions. Sacks and interceptions aren't really necessarily the biggest thing for a nose tackle.
What are these numbers up here? Were those?
That was 2025. This is his whole career.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had 1 blocked field goal and 5 special teams tackles, 2025.
Nice.
His total special teams tackles are 320. Rushing, 3 carries for 87 yards, average 29 yards a carry. For a nose tackle, that's a lot. AAC Defensive Player of the Year 2025. First team All AAC 24-25. First team All American 2025. He's only 5'11", but he's 293 pounds.
Right.
He ran a 4.8740.
And he didn't even look that big when they called his name and things. I didn't.
Which one are you thinking about? Because most of the one they show is the other Navy guy.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was this one. Maybe not. I don't know.
The one where you see standing there and the chair's like on this side, like a blonde-headed guy in the Navy uniform. He's the one that ended up going up on stage with the announcers and sitting down in the chair.
Yeah, maybe I am.
He's the other Navy guy that got drafted.
Yeah, maybe I am thinking of him.
Yeah. But 4.87 second 40 for a guy that's 293 pounds, 5'11".
Yeah.
I think that's strengths, get quick to get off. Some people would call that a detriment. Strong penetration, active hands, good lateral movement, and high motor. Areas of improvement: lacks strength and mass for defensive tackles. Lacks length and mass. For defensive tackles, block recognition can be slow. Okay. Oh, he's an Ohio kid. Copley High School in Ohio. All-state linebacker. Yeah. Yep. I think you did well. I think you did well. That was your last pick, wasn't it?
Yes.
What did Steelers do? They're the ones that took Heinrich, the other midshipman.
Okay, yes. Maybe that's why I'm getting them
fullback.
confused, because they're right.
Yeah. He's the one that you saw.
Yes.
At the draft, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's the guy. No, let me see. I want to see your Navy boy. The big rugged kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. It's one thing that the academies struggle with is the big fellas.
Yeah.
Because the military has such strict standards on percentage of body fat, overall weight, period, even if it's mostly muscle, things like that. They're allowed to gain some during the football season.
Right.
But I think it's like April, end of April, 1st of May, they have to have it off. So they have to get it off quick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Steelers took him there.
Yeah. And then down.
I'm not seeing.
Browns
took another tight end. Ravens took a defensive tackle, Benny, out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Ravens took O-line, Berenstain. Yep, that's it. So all in all, your division, other than you guys, went real heavy offense.
Yeah.
Who do you think? I know we're going to go into it in future videos, but top of your head, before we do a deep dive over the week of us digging in and really sorting out, who do you think had made the biggest improvement? Doesn't mean they became the best team, but the biggest improvement from last year to this year in the draft.
Overall.
Yep.
Every team. Oh. Honestly, I can't say.
I think the Bengals did very well. I think you guys did very, very well.
I was keeping them out.
Well, no.
For me personally, because I don't want to be like, oh, well.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think the Giants picked up some really important players.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raiders.
Yeah. Between
Mendoza and some of their other picks, and their off season.
Yeah.
But we're just really kind of talking about draft, right? Real quick.
Right.
Yeah,
not counting off-season signings and what have you. Yeah, I would say obviously us. Yeah, I would agree with the us Raiders.
Giants, Titans. I think did very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saints did what they needed to. I think a lot of teams were able to do the things they needed to.
Right.
I don't really look at many of these teams and be like, wow, did they screw this whole draft up? There's teams that screwed up a pick or two.
Right.
But also made some good ones elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I say screwed up, they seem it to us.
Right. It's not necessarily that they did. I mean,
we talked about this earlier, you and I. Mm-hmm. The teams know things that we don't.
Right. Yeah.
And you might be saying sometimes look at it and go, why? Cardinals taking Love.
Yeah.
They got 4 other wide receivers. Maybe they know that 2 of them are injured to the or have had some injuries, and they're like, we don't want to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other ones is like, I want out. I want trade me, get rid of me.
Yeah.
Now they're sitting there with one.
Yeah.
All right, then Jeremiah Love makes great sense. When you got four sitting there, and you're like, why would you take this guy when you need other things? Like, because I'm losing three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Things that we don't know yet.
Yeah. It's not broadcast. It's hush hush.
Why'd Jets go Bailey instead of, Avril Reese or Styles or Downs? Well, they needed that position.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Styles is a linebacker. They got David Bailey up here as linebacker, but I still look at him more as edge. Mm-hmm. Outside linebacker, maybe is the way they want to word that.
Right.
But I don't think.
No, I know.
But I don't think the Jets made enough improvements to make an improvement.
Right. Yeah.
They made improvements.
But like this with them last year between first and last.
Oh, between third and last.
Yeah.
This was them, yeah.
And then this year with the draft and everything, they kind of went up.
Yeah. They were this far below third. Now they're maybe this far below third, but guess what? They're still in fourth.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
The Jets in
Browns? No, sorry.
Their division, AFC East.
Oh.
Jets are AFC East.
Yeah.
No, they're I still think they're below the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Yeah. Exactly.
What will the Dolphins do this year?
Will it flip-flop?
New coach?
It not? Well, yeah.
New quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I think Malik Willis is going to do well.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the coach might do well. Their coach is definitely more of a defensive guy, their head coach.
Right.
So I don't know their offensive coordinator well enough to know.
No.
I don't remember who it is. So, again, can't keep everybody straight.
No, there's too many people.
But the Dolphins, they made some good pickups, wide receivers, other positions of need.
Yeah.
So I think they made steps forward too.
Yeah.
But I still say that division is Patriots and Bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's their division until someone wrestles it away from the two of them.
Yeah.
You got the two Titans up there pounding each other in the north. And then, the other ones are like, well, hey, I want in on that. It's like, well, you better build.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're a long ways from it.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, Mansour Delane is good.
Right.
He's a cornerback. They needed a cornerback. Mm-hmm. They needed a safety because they lost Cook to you.
Yes, they did.
But they lost Twinkle Toes there to
McDuffie.
Twinkle Toes. I couldn't think of his name.
Sorry.
There's a clip because there's a clip they play of him after like interception or something like that, where he's like jumping up and down. Like, it might be a pick six even, and he's just on his toes, almost like a ballerina of him jumping up and down. And that's all I can think of in my head, and it's like an older clip from him. It might even be college that they show. I mean, it was a hell of a play, and McDuffie's a hell of a freaking player, but they had to replace him, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if Delane was the guy, but and I tell you, another one is Green Bay.
Yeah, they didn't make.
Did they make enough big picks to fill what they lost? Mm-hmm. And they lost 8 coaches.
Yeah.
Total. Including defensive coordinator and a lot of position coaches and assistant coaching.
Yeah.
Will it help? Will it hurt? We'll find out.
We'll find out come preseason.
I like what Commanders did, but they didn't reach. I mean, they got Sonny Styles.
Right.
Arguably one of the best players in the entire draft.
Mm-hmm.
Styles, Love, Downs, Reese, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love, Bailey or Bain, and obviously Mendoza are probably the best players that were in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know either, honey. We'll have to see. Like I said, when
Cowboys got Downs, but I'm not overly wild on some of their other picks.
Mm-mm.
They did get an edge that was pretty good, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, we'll have to see when preseason hits and
Really
'cause
can't tell anything until
the regular season.
third or fourth week.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying because you'll probably see more of these guys out on the field for preseason.
Oh, you will.
Than
You will.
The
Right.
actual starters.
Right. But that's the thing. So what I'm saying is you'll see a lot of these guys playing against the other team's backups.
Yeah, that's true.
And if these guys end up starters, which from pick 1 to, well, probably just about the entire first round, with the exception of Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Most likely they're going to be either starters or the immediate backup. Would be my guess. You don't expend a first round pick. Well,
Right.
and Mendoza. I don't think Mendoza will be a starter.
Right.
The 2 quarterbacks taken. Everyone else I expect to either be starting or halfway through the season starting.
Right. Yeah.
Somewhere's around there. You spent that kind of money for them. You expect it. So quarterbacks are the one kind of oddity where it's like, I want you to stay in the garage and stay nice and shiny and new, and we'll polish on you for a little bit.
Right. Exactly.
Then we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Take you out for a little bit here and there. You know.
Take you out for a test drive every once in a while.
I mean, I can see Mendoza and Simpson playing if their teams are way up or getting blown out so bad that there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
All right, go out there, let me see what you got.
Yeah.
In a real life situation like this, what have you got?
Yeah. Not this, the OTAs, the mini camps, and all this stuff, because they're not playing against other teams. They're playing against their own friggin'
Even
players.
In preseason.
Right.
When they are playing other teams, they typically play a little bit less aggressive, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody wants to get hurt or hurt somebody else too bad before the season starts.
Right.
So. Anyways, I know that was just kind of a quick look, but I think our point to a lot of it was there's a lot of teams that did pretty well.
Yeah.
There's some of them I just still kind of scratching my head on some of the picks.
I mean, we're going to go into it a little bit different with future videos too, but overall, if somebody asked me right now, how would you grade the Bengals for their draft rounds 1 through 7?
B+. B to a B+.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me that same question about the Bengals, but include preseason, free agency.
Yeah.
I would say A- to an A.
Yeah, because we really beefed up.
You looked at your weakness and said, fix this.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get all the right pieces? Who knows?
We don't know that.
But you frickin' did something.
We did moves where in past years you didn't.
Because I'm seeing teams on here that I know have holes that need to be filled that they didn't address till late in the draft.
Yeah.
If at all.
And for us to
what was up with the Bills? There's a team that we don't.
Yeah.
They traded completely out of the first round, second year in a row.
Yeah. I don't know. And then when
the hell did they pick in round 2?
Third.
They took a defensive edge, TJ Parker.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because they traded another pick, and I want to say it was the 6th round.
But I mean, I get that the guys they wanted in round 1 were gone.
Right.
And the guys that they would want probably were going to be gone because they were picking 20 whatever. But I still think you could have taken somebody up there.
I want to say, let me see. No. Yeah, it was round 7. No,
I'm just checking something here.
with round 4.
Okay, it is still popping up on there. It looked like the chat had frozen.
Oh, yeah. When round 4 hit, they initially had pick 101, but they traded with the Raiders,
Okay,
and the Raiders went after McCoy.
which is one thing I guess in round 4 McCoy makes a little bit of sense, because if his knee is okay,
Yeah.
if one surgery fixes it and he's all good to go, you got a hell of a cornerback.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, especially a really good pick in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
For 4th round money, yeah.
But talking about the Bills constantly trading out and dropping or what have you, that they did that
Yeah.
right at the beginning of the 4th round.
There's Bills there. They did take a wide receiver and a linebacker at 125 and 126.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
If they kept doing that, oh, you could bet Bills Mafia was gonna be
I bet you
happy.
they're not happy right now.
They're probably not. No.
They got some decent players, but they did not get what they.
Right.
And I think the Patriots did okay, especially if they can get a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
In the offseason. If that's the case, if the Pats can get one or two, like AJ Brown, for example, someone like that, which supposedly they're in the hunt for someone like that.
Right.
Can the Bills beat them this year enough to take the division away from them, or will the Pats win that division again?
I just love the fact that the Bengals saying in the beginning of this offseason, we're going all in, all this stuff. We've heard that years past. It's like the Cowboys.
Hey, Jerry, this is what all in looks a little bit more like.
Yeah. And for Tobin and the front office and everybody, whoever is involved with things, and they actually stepped up and said, holy crap, yes, no, we're definitely all in. And they actually made moves. I was very shocked and very impressed with how they handled things.
Even if some of your picks don't work, like you just said, they did something this year.
They did something.
Which is new to the Bengals fans.
Yeah.
I've watched you guys be like, wait a minute.
Right.
You said we were doing something and we did. Oh, we got two guys that no one's heard of.
No more of these memes poking. Do something.
Yeah, with a stick.
With a stick. They actually did. So, sorry.
You're going to have videos coming out where you want to go division by division a little bit more?
Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit more of a deeper dive. Like he just said, division by division, and go from there. Also, we're still doing our Friday night live streams, but trying to get more just regular videos out on the channel as well. Kind of faltered through that because for us for a while it was like, ooh, that news just broke, but if we do an actual video, then it's not going to come out for us until tomorrow, the next day. Right. And we're like, yeah, we'll pop in and say hi to everybody.
So, yeah, I know you just kind of want to not necessarily even pick who you think will be division winner,
right?
But how you think within each division is getting better, or got worse,
One of the two.
We'll start doing a couple of those.
Yeah,
and I figure when you go do your live on Friday, people have had a whole week to kind of process. Everything. We will have had a week to process the draft. Yes. I mean, right now our brains are still kind of.
This weekend was chaotic anyway, and you tried to tack on the last day of the draft as well as everything else. Yeah. Our brains are fried. So, but no, we'll get into those videos and do a little bit more. And what are you?
No, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
unless I tell you there's a problem, I'm just trying to figure something out that's going on with the stream. That's all.
Okay. Right.
Why there's an 11-second delay?
Holy crap!
Normally we're 3 seconds, 2 to 4 second delay. delay.
Yeah.
And I just checked timing, and there's an 11-second delay. Hopefully that didn't. I mean, something like this doesn't usually make too big of a difference,
Right.
because we're not streaming a game or something.
Or whatever. Yeah.
That's unlike YouTube for us.
Right. But anyway, on that note, it's 5:30 here. We'll just have to mess with some stuff later on, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, we'll continue, like I said, continue the live stream for Friday night. Look for the videos to come out. We'll probably do at least one, maybe two videos to come out this week before the live stream, and just continue on.
Like I said, by Friday, people's brain will have. It's just so much information. I mean,
absorb all the.
How many 277 people just got drafted in 3 days,
Mm.
and for us to sit there and try to remember who every player was,
went where, and how good they are.
Because we covered all of round 1, all of round 2, all of round 3,
and then 6 and 7.
Part of 5. All of 6, all of 7.
Yeah.
And you're sitting now. We're also looking back at, 4 and the rest of 5 and trying to.
Yeah. Names are meshing together and what have you. So we'll get there. But yeah, so we'll do 1 or 2 videos throughout this week.
Yep.
And then we'll kick into the live streams on Fridays again. And
maybe we can discuss on Friday. We can discuss everyone's individual team.
Mm-hmm. We can do that.
So,
yes.
All right.
So we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye for now.